Hey, this is Reggie with A-Team Appliance. Excuse me. Doing a video today on price presentation with your customers. This is for obviously your new guys and any customers too. So you may see from our perspective, point of view. Also, you vets out there, feel free to comment below on any tips you may have also on price presenting. But I think we all pretty much have the same foundation on how we present in the unwritten rules. One of those rules being confidence, and there's a difference between being cocky and confidence. Confidence and being sure that you're fair-minded with your pricing. You don't want to price based off of, like if you got a chip on your shoulder about the previous customer who didn't pay you or whatever, or you feel you paid all this money for trade school, so you need to try to make it all back on one repair. And another way of knowing if you are either too cheap or too high. If you're too cheap, you might get a lot of, wow, that's it. That's a sign you may be too low. If you're too high, you'll get, oh, well, does the repair have some sort of warranty? Like, you'll get a little uncomfortable. Customer comes across a little uncomfortable, or he questions, or asks me, hey, do you think we should get a repair or should we get a new one? So a medium is, basically your parts price plus whatever you feel you need to make as a minimum, based off the repair. So that, and also taking into consideration the value of the appliance that you're fixing. If you're fixing a 15-year-old dryer that needs a fuse, and you have to clean out the air duct, some other things involved. That's consideration in the pricing, but you don't want to hit somebody at $300 on a 20-year-old dryer that they can find another one on Craigslist for $100. So you want to be fair, Also, if it's especially if it's a abuse repair, and what I mean by that is, the air filter wasn't cleaned out and it triggered the fuse, and you pull that filter out, and it's you knit a sweater with all the lint that came out of that thing. Price based, I also price considering I might have to come back if they do it again, because sometimes they'll do it again because they don't change their habits, and if you give them a warranty, they want to, they're going to expect you to fix it, and they'll probably try to clean the lint trap before you get there. You get there, you see that fuse is going again, it was the lint trap. Obviously it takes months of using it for that to happen again. I mean, if it happens like the next day, it probably was you. So anyway, so getting into price presenting, when to price present after you've taken something apart. I know sometimes, being good at what we do can make us a bit arrogant. And so, like, case in point, a Whirlpool coupler. If you at the client's house and you put the washer on spin, you hear that clack, 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 you're like, okay, it's a coupler, but take something apart, because number one, before you price present, because it makes the customer feel better. Yeah, it makes you look like a pro because you can hear it, but at least take the cabinet off. I mean, even though you can change those things without taking the cabinet off, it looks good, makes the customer feel better, and it helps justify your pricing. Even if you feel your pricing is fair, you don't know what the customer is thinking. You got people out here who thinks, oh, this thing should be fixed for $50, which almost nothing can be fixed for $50 when it comes to appliances. I'm not driving to my house for $50. That's cheaper than my diagnostic fee. My diagnostic fee is $60, which I'll collect. I collect that. I'm never proud of collecting it because I feel like, oh man, I'd rather have the repair. But if the repair exceeds the value of the machine, it is what it is, Or you get there and it's a fuse, not a fuse, the circuit breaker, not the dryer. So anyway, back on track. Price presenting, present after you've at least diagnosed it. So learn your diagnostic fee is a lesson there. Earn your diagnostic fee first, then price present. because the customer says no, and you haven't pulled not one screwdriver out of your bag because you know what it is. It's hard to ask for your diagnostic fee, especially so some of you guys got $89 diagnostic fee, $99 diagnostic fee. Especially if you have a higher diagnostic fee, it's hard to not take a screwdriver out and ask, okay, you know, they decline to repair, and you say, okay, that'll be $99, please. You know, $80, $60. So take the cabinet off. You know, in the case of a coupler or something easy, just take something apart, wow the customer first. Then from there, verify what it is. If it's the motor coupler, whatever, you take things off, verify what it is. If you see it shredded, if you're not sure, you know, because sometimes it could be one thing and then you take it apart and you find out something else. So verify, then price present. In the case of you're not sure what it is, you know, if it's like a computer or a door lock, you're not sure which one it might be, price present on both. You know, if it's something that you know you got to tear into, and you want to make sure the customer wants to pay what you're going to charge before you do a bunch of work, then you want to price present both. Hey, I think, you know, on the low end it's going to be, if it's the door switch, it's going to be X amount of dollars. If it's the computer, it's going to be X amount of dollars. I won't know till I tear into it, but I just want to let you know ahead of time. And the customer, okay, go ahead. You know, they'll tell you so that, you know, so that they're prepared. And that way, if it's the lower end, you know you're getting paid. So when you price present, just be sure you show value with taking things apart. You know, let them know, hey, this is why I'm here, because this is something you can't do. Be sure you at least break it down to at least one or two things it could be, price present, and then get to work, because obviously you don't want to be there for 3 or 4 hours diagnosing it, and then you find out they in their mind they thinking they're only gonna spend $100, and it's gonna be way more than that. So that's my advice on price presenting. And if you're not sure on what to charge, there's a blue book you can use to help guide you. And also, just being fair, to the customers. If it's an old machine, you're not going to collect $400. So anyway, Reggie with A-Team Appliance. Any questions? Feel free to message below. Also, as of right now, as of 2020, some of these videos stay on forever. I'm doing Q&As live on YouTube Live every Saturday morning. So subscribe to my channel so you can get updates on that. This is Reggie, A-Team Appliance.
In half a mile, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Georgia 124 North.